The world is full of masks. Some are worn out of necessity, to shield vulnerabilities, while others are designed to deceive. And the most dangerous masks? Those worn by the people who claim to be your friends. Introduction: the cost of trust. Jake always believed in loyalty. He was the kind of person who would go to great lengths for his friends, sacrificing his time, his energy, his very peace of mind to help those he cared about. To him, friendship wasn't just about hanging out. It was about trust, about standing beside each other through every storm. But what happens when the storm isn't external? What if the very people you trusted were the ones causing the thunder and rain? Jake learned this lesson the hard way. He learned that fake friends don't hate you for your mistakes. They don't hate you for your failures. They hate you for your clarity. When you finally see them for who they really are, the web of deception. For years, Jake was surrounded by a group of friends who seemed perfect. They laughed at his jokes, showed up at his victories, and claimed they had his back. It was a kind of friendship that felt unbreakable. But what Jake didn't realize was that some friendships are built on convenience, not commitment. They were there when things were good. But when shadows crept in, when Jake needed someone to stand by him, their true colors started to show. It began with whispers, quiet words spoken just out of his earshot, laughter that didn't quite feel right, messages left unanswered, invitations sent but never received. Slowly, the signs became clearer. He wasn't one of them. He was simply an asset, a tool for their benefit. One night, everything changed. The betrayal unfolds. Jake had always been generous. When one of his friends, Darren, faced financial struggles, Jake lent him money without hesitation. "I'll pay you back soon, bro," Darren had assured him, flashing a grateful smile. Months passed. The money never returned. But that wasn't what hurt the most. It was a realization that Darren had never intended to return it. Every time Jake brought it up, there was an excuse. Then one night, Jake overheard something that shattered his trust completely. Standing outside a bar where his friends had gathered, without inviting him, he heard Darren's voice, clear and mocking. "Jake's too nice, man. He actually thinks I'll pay him back." Laughter followed, the kind that cuts deep, the kind that tells you exactly where you stand. His heart pounded, but he stayed frozen in place, listening to their conversation unfold like a nightmare he couldn't wake up from. Seeing the truth hurts. That night, Jake didn't confront them. He didn't explode with anger or demand explanations. Instead, he went home, staring at the ceiling, feeling a weight he couldn't shake. The hardest part wasn't losing friends. It was realizing they were never his friends to begin with. But here's the thing about truth. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Jake started noticing everything. How they only reached out when they needed something. How they avoided him when he was struggling. How their kindness was nothing more than a performance, a carefully crafted act to keep him useful. And that's when he made a decision, one that fake friends hate the most. He cut them off. No warnings, no explanations, just silence. The reaction of fake friends. At first, they didn't notice. Then they acted confused. Finally, when they realized Jake wasn't coming back, the truth came out. The messages changed from, "Hey, we haven't seen you in a while," to, "You think you're better than us?" From, "Are you okay?" to, "You're so fake for leaving us behind." They weren't upset that Jake left. They were upset that he saw through them. Fake friends don't hate losing you. They hate losing control over you. But Jake, he was done being controlled. Conclusion: the power of walking away. It's a painful truth, but one that sets you free. Not everyone who smiles at you is your friend. Not everyone who claps for you wants to see you win. And when you finally open your eyes, when you finally see through the lies, fake friends will hate you for it, because they never wanted you to wake up. They never wanted you to realize that you deserve better. But you do. And the moment you walk away, you step into something greater, a life free from deception, a life where real friendships thrive. And that is the ultimate victory. When Jake walked away from his fake friends, he expected relief. He expected to feel lighter, freer. And in many ways, he did. But what he wasn't prepared for was the silence. For years, his life had been filled with noise, constant messages, plans, and drama. Now there was nothing. His phone barely buzzed. The people he once called his closest friends moved on as if he had never existed, and for a moment he wondered if he had made a mistake. But then something powerful happened. Instead of dwelling on what he lost, he started focusing on what he gained: peace, clarity, and the ability to finally build a life he deserved. The test of loneliness. Jake had always been surrounded by people, but now he faced something far more challenging: being alone. At first, it was uncomfortable. The quiet moments felt heavy, almost suffocating. He found himself scrolling through old messages, resisting the urge to check in on the people who betrayed him. But then he reminded himself, why would I go back to people who were never truly there for me? That question became his anchor. Instead of searching for external validation, he started investing in himself. He picked up books he had long ignored. He focused on his health, running every morning to clear his mind. He started working on his passion project, something his so-called friends had always dismissed as a waste of time. And slowly, the loneliness transformed into something else: self-discovery. The smear campaign begins. Fake friends don't just fade away. They fight back. When Jake left, he thought they would forget about him. Instead, they made him the villain. Rumors started spreading, lies designed to make him look like the bad guy. He changed. He thinks he's too good for us now. He's selfish. After everything we did for him, he just disappeared. Watch. He'll come crawling back when he realizes he has no one. At first, hearing these things hurt. But then Jake realized something. Fake friends will always rewrite the story to make themselves the heroes. They couldn't accept that he left because he saw their true colors. So they had to twist the narrative, convincing themselves and everyone else that he was a problem. But Jake, he didn't respond. He didn't defend himself. He let his actions speak louder than their words. And that's when he noticed something incredible. Real friends emerge. When you cut off the wrong people, the right ones start to appear. Jake had always been so caught up in maintaining toxic friendships that it ignored the real ones. The people who had been there all along, quietly supporting him. People who didn't need anything from him except his presence. People who checked in not out of curiosity, but out of genuine concern. People who celebrated his wins, even when they had nothing to gain from it. These were the friendships he started nurturing. They weren't built on convenience or superficiality. They were built on mutual respect, trust, and authenticity. And for the first time in his life, Jake understood what real friendship felt like, turning pain into power. One day, while scrolling through his old messages, Jake saw a text from Darren, the same Darren who had laughed behind his back. It was short. "Hey, bro, it's been a while. We should catch up." Jake stared at the screen, his heart steady. He had a choice. He could respond, fall back into the cycle, or he could move forward. He deleted the message. No anger, no resentment, just clarity. Because at the end of the day, fake friends don't deserve closure. They don't deserve explanations. The best response? Success. So Jake kept going. He poured himself into his work. He built new, meaningful relationships. He created a life so fulfilling that the past became irrelevant. And soon, the people who once doubted him, the ones who spread lies and waited for him to fail, they became nothing more than a distant memory. Conclusion: the ultimate revenge. The greatest revenge isn't proving them wrong. It isn't making them regret losing you. It's simply this: becoming so focused on your growth that their absence doesn't matter anymore. Fake friends will always hate when you see through their lies, because when you do, you take away their power. And when you walk away, truly walk away, you don't just escape the toxicity. You step into the life you were always meant to have. Because real success isn't measured by how many friends you have. It's measured by how many real ones you keep. And Jake, he finally understood that.